Hey, my name is Dakota Graff. I'm the Director of Coffee here at Onyx Coffee Lab, and today I'm going to walk you through a couple of the features that we've integrated into our website to help you understand your coffee better. So you can scroll through this bag box, kind of opens up, and then you have things like variety, process, elevation, and what we would say are cup profile notes. So anytime that you scroll through and you see these varieties, that's going to refer to the subvariety of the Arabica plant, which is our Coffea Arabica. And this is helpful to understand that, coffee's like apples. So any type of subvariety that you have is going to have a different flavor profile, much like other fruit. So that's just a helpful little thing that if you understand that you enjoy a certain variety, you can look for those traits in other coffees. The processing is a big one. That is the sort of window that you look at the coffee through. So if it's going to be a natural processed coffee, it probably is going to be a little bit more fruity. If it's going to be a washed coffee, it's going to hit what I would say slides over to more of a traditional or kind of like medium traditional profile. Elevation determines some of those characteristics as well, and it's a helpful benchmark to understand where coffee is grown. And then the cup profile is what we develop with our QC protocol. We taste the coffees and we say, you know what, this coffee tastes a little bit like nectarine. It tastes like it has some sugar browning, so I'm going to say some caramel in there. And that kind of gives you a benchmark of what you're going to expect in the cup, guiding you to your perfect coffee. So let's dig a little bit deeper into the roast profile scale and how the numbers kind of equate to what you're tasting in coffee. So we have a one-pager that you can find on our website if you click Learn More, and that will take you to a page that has a scale of roast development. Now this roast development has been made specifically for Onyx coffees, and these Agtron numbers are a scale that falls within anywhere from like 80 down to like 59. 59 being the darkest, 80 being the lightest coffee we've ever roasted, and everything in between. So you can see we have the benchmarks on this one pager as our blends, or what we call our evergreens. And this falls within expressive light all the way to dark. Expressive light is sort of the lightest coffee you'll experience. I say expressive because they're going to be a little brighter and just a little bit more dynamic than a traditional light roast. And that falls within any of our blends and single origins. So we measure our Agtron using, it's a photo mass spectrometer, so it just measures the light that reflects back from the coffee and gives us an objective number of our roast levels. And then we average those out and we get a benchmark for each coffee. So I'm really excited about it. It's super helpful for us in a QC role, but it's also super helpful for a consumer facing to understand how roast affects flavor profile. And we hope that you dig into this tool and use it a little bit more as we develop it more fully. So as you scroll down, you can find what we refer to as the story section. Now this section usually has a bit about how we came to this coffee, what the producer does, who the producer is, what our relationship with this person is, and then also a little bit about anything that we find necessary to include in the write-up. So processing, dry milling, sometimes we write about just something that's an interesting cultural dynamic that maybe affected the flavor of this coffee. And so the story is where we kind of like get a little bit more expressive and try to tell you the story of the coffee. As you scroll past that, you'll experience our brew guides. I think this is one of the things we do best at Onyx, which is guide you how to brew this coffee with the tools that you have. Alika and the training team does a great job of these. We've recently introduced brew guides in Spanish, which is also really exciting. So that is something that we include on every coffee. Generally, we do a filter brew guide as well as an espresso brew guide. And then we have general guidelines. If you click for more general filter at that hyperlink. And finally, we get to the cornerstone of what we do, which is transparency. This section is what we, like not only the cost we incurred when we buy the coffee, but what we paid for the coffee, how we paid for it, which is sometimes even more important than what we paid for it. And there's a lot of information because as you click through this, it will expand into many different menus, actually, and there are sub-menus when you click through them. So you'll see transportation, production costs, green costs, C market. All of these things are just talking about the transaction of buying specialty coffee. And there are individual write-ups on every coffee. If you scroll all the way down, it will say, this is what we paid, where we paid it, who we worked with, and this is the cost we incurred while transporting the coffee, as well as just buying it in general. It's a super helpful tool, so please dig in and read up. So an exciting feature that we have on our website is what we call Find My Roast. This is a feature that actually assigns a batch code to every coffee. It's written on the bottom. And if you type that in, if you go to Find My Roast section on our website, you can actually find more information about each coffee, as well as like roast information, who roasted it, when we roasted it, all those things. So if you click through, you type in your batch number, it'll take you to a page that has that information. So we have, like I said, roasting information, finish temp, batch size, who roasted it, and some helpful information like cup notes and inventory, which will tell you how much of that coffee we have, as well as a general roast curve, just to see this is what we did in the roaster, this is what we got as a measurement, and this is how it affects the cup. So it's a really exciting tool, it's a really fun tool, and I love interacting with it. It's great for a quality control reference and just transparency in general. So those are our general features on our Onyx website. We're always trying to add more tools to help you find better coffees and give you more information on the coffees that you already have. So please always check back and explore new features. Hope you enjoyed.